Welcome to this presentation on estimating startup costs in pediatric DPC. This is a little bit of a precursor to a talk that I gave at the 2024 Mastermind in Texas on estimating your monthly budget. But before you really go into your monthly budget and pricing, it's nice to start here on like, how much is it going to cost me to just get started? And that's often the first question that people have. So you might be wondering, how much is it going to take for you to get started? And it can be really tempting to just assume that it's going to cost you a certain amount of money based on what someone else says. But you have to be careful, because if you hear someone share their story or you read a book about how much it cost someone 5 years ago when they wrote the book, it may not be an accurate estimate of what your costs will be. I've often seen people post in some of the DPC Facebook groups kind of boasting like, oh, it only took me, $8,000 or $10,000 to start up my DPC. I bought used tables and used equipment, and I lucked out here and I lucked out there, and I was able to start really on a great budget. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. So be careful. I made the mistake myself of estimating that it was going to cost me less than it actually did. And so I wish that I had really looked at the numbers earlier. I did eventually, once I started, I was forced to really get better estimates of what my real costs would be. And so I did do my best to estimate. You're never going to know exactly. So just keep in mind that as much guidance as I'm going to give you and as many templates as I'm going to give you in this presentation, you can only make best estimates, right? The real costs are always going to be a little bit different, and sometimes a lot different from what you estimate, but it's still worth doing, because if you want to maximize your chances for success, it helps to make financial plans according to your vision and your goals. And that's something I want to emphasize, because your DPC is going to be unique. Your vision is not going to be the exact same vision as somebody else's. Maybe you want to focus on behavioral health and you don't need a lot of the fancy, more medical equipment. Maybe you do more lifestyle or integrative medicine and you need additional equipment, or you need a particular type of space in which to do that work. Maybe you want to offer full service general pediatrics and urgent care. You need all the fancy stuff to do procedures, and you want to have someone who does behavioral health and someone who does lactation within your office. That's going to, of course, affect your costs as well. So make sure that you estimate based on your goals and your vision, not just assume that it's going to cost you what it cost somebody else.